let's see what we can get ourselves into. I'm assuming, obviously, since the missions 1 and 2 were going to be the harder ones, and 3 was not the hard one, so we'll play more safe here and just go for the win, no matter how pretty or how not pretty it is. Motherfucker, land your haste. Oh fuck, you get rid of debuffs. It's terrible. So I think we're gonna just rock without debuffs. Oh fuck. That's the one downside of us not... Oh, she's dead. Sick.
So we'll play more safe here and just go for the win.
What's up? We back for another day. Well, the final day of Final Fantasy XIII. 13-1, at least. Obviously, when we get to 13-2 and Lightning Returns, that's another thing. But, so, we've been busy. We have been busy. Everyone's basically maxed out, and when I mean basically maxed out. This wasn't intentional in a sense. Like, I'm a little bit more juiced than I wanted to be, mainly because trying to get money. And I mean, we'll get into what I was doing, but yeah, I was trying to get money in the game, and obviously you have to get money, you have to fight enemies, so like that kind of boosted me over a little bit. But yeah, yeah, so a little just for some reference, we're gonna be talking about obviously what we've been doing or what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and finish off all the missions. So I grinded, obviously. One thing that I did off screen that we will end up doing again is I went to get the growth egg. I did the death spam trick to get it. We are going to do that mission again normally, but just to speed up the time of that process, we went to get the growth egg after the game, obviously. And yeah, so a couple things. For what I was thinking of the game gonna be taking us 30 hours ish to grind up, that, well, yes and no. It's been 20, it took me like 20-ish hours. Now, that 20 hours the most productive 20 hours? No, it was like a couple hours here, a couple hours there, you know, stuff like that. So but in general it was just pretty tame. But technically, if you wanted to max out everyone in the sense of like maxing out all their weapons and stuff like that, then yeah, like every single weapon. Like if you were going for like 100% type thing. Let's see. For equipment, everyone basically has their weapons maxed out. For the most part, everyone has their ATB6 item. Are all of them maxed out? No. And what I mean by like, I mean like to max out every specific weapon, it would take you like upwards of like maybe 50 hours or something like that. One thing I wish, and this is a bit jumbled up, I wish there was, I mean, they would have to redo the entire system, because the system doesn't include you getting money normally, right? You get money via selling items, but I kind of wish there was an easier way to get money, or if they just gave you money via just enemies giving you the cash. Because so I was killing the adamantoise to get platinum ingots for our cash, and the thing is like, I mean, we got extremely unlucky with the adamantoise is like platinum ingots drop. We were fairly lucky on our trapezohedrons, but yeah, I wanted to go over what I did to grind to this point, just in case there's anyone's following along or something like that, right? This is the beginning, or this is the area where we were left off at, in the, what is this place called? Like in the Orphan's Cradle. And what at the beginning, what I did was I would just go around, or like one of the things I did test is that I would go around, kill these 2 sets of enemies, save, and then reload the game, and they would spawn back in. I tried to like run far away enough to, and then like run back to see if they respawn, and they didn't. So I just started to reload the saves and stuff like that. But that didn't last so long. We ended up resorting to killing adamantoises or adamantois for our grinding. I'm gonna show off a strat that I did not make this strat, but like I said, just in case if anyone's following along and wants to do the side quest as well, then yeah, you can do this method. I mean, there's other methods to do, you know, it's not like it's not a unanimous thing, you know, you can go with whatever method you want to, right? So we're gonna teleport back to the central expanse, yeah. And what we would do basically is we would go find Adamantis or Adamantois and then run back and save, reload the area, and then fight it again. Technically there's 2, like on the, I think there's 2 Adamantoises in the like the main area, but I found running back to save and then reloading the area to be faster, because you need to reload. Jesus, it's foggy as fuck. It has never, out of all the times that I've done this, it has never been this foggy. It's been sunny for one, or you know, anything like that, but yeah, not like this. Jesus. But yeah, we went with the I found a strategy by Nastalgic, Nastalgic, okay. Was he the first one? Probably. I didn't like dig in too deep. Was he the first one to, you know, find this method or, you know, stuff like that? No, probably not, because considering the game is so many years old and that video is only 4 years old or something like that, from when I checked. But it's a low-level guide. Technically you're able to do this when in chapter 12, when we first saw the Adamantois, when we had our moment with like him falling through the ground and shit like that. But the setup is, and I'll show the setup and I'll also walk through it just in case. The setup is, and this is a no damage method, right? It does require summons, so we'll get into that after, but yeah, you'd want to equip. I'm just showing my setup. I didn't mess with these guys' setup. So basically they had what I would suggest is to equip the items that increase your drop chance of items. So there's one for normal items, and then there's the Connoisseur's Catalog, which is for rare items, and then obviously your growth egg. The reason why we have 2 iron bangles here is because it increases your damage when you're above 90% HP by 20%, I'm pretty sure, said the video. Technically you can replace it with, you know, physical ones or, you know, whatever method. And then the other guys, they just had damage, and like I was mentioning, the items, like the item chance increases, right? Now at that point where I was at, I didn't have the 4 accessory slots, so you can spread out these items more, these random ones more, that they don't have to be on your main person, right? You can spread it across the 3 party members. But yeah, then the paradigm situation is like this. We're going to start out in Bully, which is Synergist, Saboteur, then Commando. And then I'll go step by step on the method to killing the Adamantoids at low level. But yeah, let me see. I wrote down so we can get specific with it. Okay, so you need Haste and Brave on Saz here. So this method is going to require summons. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to instantly go into the summon, and then I'm gonna let this go for a bit. So we're gonna go for the summon, and then we're gonna do a haste and brave on Saz himself. And then so haste and brave Saz. This doesn't have to go incredibly fast, you know what I mean? And then you're gonna swap into Cerberus. You're going to use 2 blitzes. Obviously, at this point, you would only have 5 ATB gauges, or 5 slots on the ATB gauge. With 2, and then you're going to do it again. Again. Then you're going to go swap into a Smart Bomb, or whichever one. You want to be on Ravager. Then you're going to use Cold Blood twice.
Wish on these fireworks.
You're gonna use Cold Blood twice, and then so I might only use it once because for some reason I don't know why, but like randomly when I was grinding and doing this method, I'm assuming it's because I was stronger and like maybe the summon uses a special move or something like that, but like the stagger bar will jump from like 300 to 500 like instantly, and I don't know why that happened. So I'm chalking that up to us being stronger than obviously you would be if you were doing this at the beginning. That problem was happening more towards the end, but for you at this point you'd probably use cold-blooded twice back to back, and then we're gonna go swap into synergist after we do this. So yeah, like I said, you would use cold blood again there, but we're gonna use Endfire on our character. In the video he used it twice. I don't know if that makes it do more damage or not, but you can use it once. So yeah, 2 cold bloods into Endfire, and then you're gonna get ready to do haste and brave on your party members once they come back, obviously. So we're gonna use it on Fang.
Appreciate it.
Oh, did I do haste? Yeah. Haste and haste and brave. Oop. On lightning, and then you're gonna swap into Smart Bomb. So basically, what you're gonna look here is for Fang to do all of her Saboteur moves. Basically, we want Imperil, the defense down and all that stuff. Basically. Then you're going to basically spam cold-blooded. Now, one thing to note is I'm using the weapon for Saz that makes it so he can't stagger the enemy. So one of our teammates is going to have to do it. But yeah, so yeah, you're basically going to use cold-blooded until he reaches 999 stagger, basically. But when she is done, while you're doing all the once she's done buffing or debuffing, you're gonna swap to the Ravager Commando one, so she can obviously attack at the same time. So we're gonna do that. She's done with all of her stuff, so you're just gonna swap. It's gonna continue your animation for this. So we're at 615. You're gonna keep using cold-blooded till you're at 999, basically, or like, you know, near there.
How about some of this?
Oh, that's good enough. And then you're going to swap into Commando, then just spam blitzes. Obviously, you would only have 2 ATB at this time, or like 5 bars of ATB, but you're just going to keep doing it until it's done. And obviously, since you would be doing less damage at that time, you would be swapping from the Paradigm 1 and Paradigm 2 to get the ATB refresh, that the ATB refresh trick of when you swap after the first paradigm switch and each subsequent paradigm switch after 10 seconds. I don't know if it's an intentional feature or a glitch, but after 10 seconds and you do another switch, you'll have a max ATB gauge. So you can utilize that by spamming all your abilities, and then while you're obviously at like 1 ATB, you swap, and then you'll get all 6 or 5 or 6 back. So yeah. And that's basically the method. One thing to note, obviously, about this method is that it requires TP. So another thing that I didn't mention is that one thing you can do to equip on your teammates is to you can equip the TP restore items. I forget what they're called. you just look for, yeah, on the right side where it says kill ATB charge and kill TP charge. You can equip those. And basically what I did is, and if you have the growth egg there, you get 80,000 completion points. So you can upgrade your characters. What I basically did is I would kill these enemies and then I would walk out of their like range basically when, so you see this X right here, basically when that X on the mini map would be in their area, right, like where you would kill those wolves or whatever they are. I would walk out of the vicinity where you couldn't see the X anymore on the mini map, then I'd run back, kill them again, and then I would save, reload, or I would basically keep doing that till I had 3 ATB or 3 TP on the for technical points. Save the game, reload, and then kill it again. And it'd be a that's the easy method. Obviously, with I mean, we'll get into us killing the adamant tortoise eventually. But yeah, and then when we normally killed one, it was pretty easy. How long? We've been 15 minutes. I'll actually go over that, actually. I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna redo the paradigms and stuff like that, and then we'll be back, and then we'll kill another one. So yeah, BRB. Okay, we back. This method is gonna be more investment, I guess. I mean, you could probably finagle it into working better for you. This method is for when you're stronger, because you will be taking hits, so either be equipped in a way to you can survive the hits, or obviously we're so high level that it doesn't really, like, when we get hit once, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, so this is the paradigm set. We're going to be in the synergist to start out with, and then we have Commando Ravager, and then Commando Ravager as our 2 attacking ones, basically. Then we also have Synergist Medic, so we can the buff while our teammates heal us, and then Sentinel Medic. The differentiating factor here is obviously when you're in Sentinel, you give your allies a defensive buff, so you take less damage, basically. And then we have Saboteur. But yeah, and then obviously the characters, we have Entite rings and Siltstone rings on the gang here, mainly because a bunch of shit does earth damage. You can replace whatever setup you have here. Obviously we don't have growth eggs and stuff like that you would have, as well as we don't have the oh fuck, we killed it, right. We obviously don't have the or yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we have to reload because I think we get TP. We're just gonna reload real fast. Maybe I should have did that earlier, but obviously if you're on PC or an SSD, it's obviously a lot faster. If you're playing this on original hardware, then good luck, because yeah, I would assume the load times are not great on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. On the new Xbox, it should be pretty good, or like the Series X and stuff like that, obviously, since you have SSDs on those. Obviously if you have NVMe SSDs, obviously you're better off, but point is fast load times regardless. So I didn't write this down on like how our goals and stuff like that, but this one's more free flowing, and I'll explain why. We don't have the Genji's Glove, I think is the name. So that means that Genji's Glove is an item that makes it so you can surpass, or you can do up to 999,000 damage. But we get that later on doing the time trials, but I didn't feel like, not that I felt bad, but I didn't want to experience certain things in the game without having I didn't want to experience certain like quests and stuff like that off screen, right? Because obviously we're here doing a series on it, so I didn't want to go get it. And that would, the Genji Glove would have increased the time to kill a lot faster. Like these things would like get flattened, and you'll see why. But we're gonna start in Synergist, and we're basically going to everyone has their own role. Lightning has been giving us haste, but we're basically gonna just do Brave, Faith, and Veil to everyone, basically. Well, and then Lightning is gonna give everyone haste and stuff like that.
Thank you.
I actually don't need to give us Faithra, but I'm already here. So we're gonna do this. Then we're gonna swap to Saboteur, and then we're going to debuff its legs. All of us. We eat those. Just debuff them. It doesn't really have to be a specific science. And then we're gonna go for blitzes here. And if at any time you see him charge up an attack via his legs, you'll see him like bring his leg up. You're gonna swap into the Sentinel. You're gonna get the heal because obviously the ATB refresh. And then you're gonna swap back in and get the little bit of health. You know, if you see her charging up a Karaja there. Here you would want to use High Wind, but he was already basically dead, so I'll swap into Sentinel to take reduced damage, get a couple heals off, go back into attack. We're not going to kill this one all the way. Since we're using Bravera and Faithra, we have a problem of it's not lasting long enough.
Time for a check.
In the next phase, in this segment, it doesn't last long enough, so we can't kill it in one phase, basically. So, and that's the problem with the Genji Glove. Fuck. He has a chance of doing that roar attack. That roar attack is really a problem. Fuck. We're gonna have to use Dispelga here because he ends up putting stop, and he can obviously put stop on your fucking healers, and that's a no-go. We eat those. We kind of just have to live with it. If you're faster, I mean, we're a bit slower here because I'm trying to explain everything. But we'll let him attack again before we swap out to buff up. You're not on a timer or anything for like this, so you're fine. Let's go like this, heal a bit, and then swap to this one. That's another benefit is that of having the double healers that you can swap into the other one to heal up even faster. Yeah, just
Get with the program. Cheers. Stay calm.
heal up. We're not gonna defense down, but the main and like the normal method that you're supposed to do, you're supposed to use basically once you get it stagger, that's your like cue to high wind it, and you'd basically insta kill it. You can basically insta kill it at this point as well, without the Genji's glove, but we need to buff up again because in this next segment we're not going to be able to one phase it without that. So at this point, you're just gonna kill the leg, and once you kill the leg, it'll basically fall down by itself. That's what us summoning our Eidolon did last time. Basically, it knocked it down to the ground, or basically killed its legs. Then he's gonna go down. You're gonna swap into Saboteur, and then you're just gonna spam your debuffs. You want to get Imperil because he resists all the elementals. So for for Vanille and Lightning that are going to use Ravager, obviously you want them to be able to do the most damage that they can do. You're going to swap in. You're just going to spam blitzes till he gets to his stagger. And this is what I was getting at, is that once you get to like 700%, I mean, even there, we're starting to almost do 99,000 damage, which is the max there. And the problem with that is that we're doing so much damage, but we're not doing enough as we normally could be, because obviously we're only doing 99,000 when we could be doing way more with Genji's glove. And you would also high, let's move the high. You would also high wind at some point there. Then you can instantly kill it, basically, since you just have so much damage that it can just wipe it out. But yeah, that was basically the method that we were just using. The Genji glove, you can get it down to basically you can kill those in like a minute flat. And basically you kill this one and then you run directly straight all the way to that one. There is a note is that the visual difference with the Adamantoise and the Adamantortoise, which is somewhere, is the Adamantoise is orange or like tan in color, whereas the Adamantortoise is blue or like has blue like it's a hue of color to it. I don't know if there's other visual elements. I didn't really check that part. I just know what the Adamantoises look like. But yeah, that was a long-winded thing. Went on for 25 minutes, but I thought I'd include that just because, you know, just in case if you were grinding or if you got to this point and wanted to do the side quests, you know, then yeah. But yeah, so now we're gonna go basically do the tie-in missions and stuff like that, and then I mean we only have, I want to say we only have 12, maybe 14 missions. I don't know how many in total actually. So less than 20. Obviously I don't know how long we're gonna take for each of them. With me looking up like grinding spots and stuff like that, I have been recommended videos of people doing it with the least amount of effort, right? So it kind of makes me think that technically you don't need to be this so like it was like a flip-flop thing. At the beginning I thought, okay, you don't need to be this strong. Then we started getting fucking mollywopped and then stuff like that. I got recommended a video of someone doing it in chapter 11, all the side quests and stuff like that. So it is possible with 5 ATB bars and stuff like that. You have to be a sicko, I'll say that, but that's fine. We're not really, we're not doing a dick measuring contest, so I don't really care. You know, we grinded. I personally wanted, you know, our ultimate weapons, so that was the goal. And we basically grinded till that point, really. So that's how long it took us. So that's what it was, right? Where I don't remember which one it is. I guess we'll try on air. It might be this one. We're basically trying to go back to the tie-in area. This does not sound like the tie-in area. No. Well. I guess it's just might be this one. I don't think that we're gonna be over there by where we killed the Tonberry and stuff like that. I don't think there's a closer teleport. I think that's what it's like trying to get at, basically. Yeah, I think we'll just have to go on foot here. But yeah, long intro, really. Maybe I'll put a disclaimer saying that you can skip it if you don't really give a fuck. Because obviously it doesn't really apply to you if you're just watching the videos, right? At the same time, it's like we're gonna do what we gotta do. You know, we're not really pressed. I just kind of wanted to show it. But yeah. I don't remember which shit we were on. I feel like, did we do 3? I want to see if it'll show us again. Let me save. Okay. Yeah, and on the topic of, you know, the 14-ish levels that we have. I'm assuming it's going to take us less than 6 hours, hopefully, right? Like there's 12 missions or like 14 or whatever. So hopefully you'd expect like 10 minutes each, some faster, right? Depending on how good we are or how shitty we are, right? So faster, maybe slower. I think can we? I think we can. Mission. Yes. Okay, we did not. So yeah, we have to go to E3. Right. Yes. I don't think I'm gonna swap out our equipment, just because, I mean, that guy just did pure magic damage. It wasn't like elemental or anything like that, so it kind of doesn't really matter for him, but we will like we have enough juice to like be able to go through that without, you know, needing to do that. Also, one thing I'd like to comment on the top right of your screen, this is what I was gonna bring up. I wrote it down. I left a comment on episode 44, which was basically when I realized, so while I was editing the last recording session and editing TikTok and stuff like that, I was asking, obviously, like during the gameplay and throughout this whole series, of like, why are they not debuffing? And status immunities in the top left, or in the top right. I don't know why. I never looked at it and thought, obviously they're immune to those, jackass. But yeah, there it is. And obviously, now to be fair, I think, and I even left that in the comment as well, I'm pretty sure it still does damage, even though the debuff won't go through. So that I'm also frustrated with that, but obviously I didn't realize about the status immunities because, dumbass, I'm so locked on to the vulnerabilities part of that side of the screen that I wasn't looking at the status immunities. So yeah, that is my bad. But yeah, we're gonna buff up. Give you the whole shebang. The one downside that we have is obviously we're using Bravera and Faithra, and obviously that is super nice because instead of 20% extra damage, it's 80%. Downside being is that
Don't get predictable.
what can I think? Or actually,
Change of plans.
downside being is what was I even saying? Oh, downside being it doesn't last as long, so that's the one downside as well. That could be mitigated when we were fighting the adamantoids and stuff like that. There we go. But yeah, we're a lot stronger. Even though we took forever to kill this guy, but obviously that was because we were yapping. Yes. Also, we're controlling Fang mostly because of High Wind, right? It's such a strong move that we want to utilize. Technically, you can make the argument that, and we're in post-game stuff, you know, during the main game, we wanted to only control Lightning as, you know, we're playing as Lightning and stuff like that. But in post-game, you know, we're just gonna go with the way it is. Let's go into this and just spam Blitz.
Stay down.
Or you're also weak to fire. I guess we can do this then. And then you can Is she stupid? They block magic. Can you
Change
use?
of plan.
Why? I'm just surprised she wasn't using flame strike. Not the like the magic part.
Thanks for coming. Hardly worth the effort.
Mission complete. Bombshell. Came through that way, right? Yeah. So we're gonna want to go up here. So we can go up the path in the quest line. Yep. And then we'll go to D2, then to E3, I think it was. Oh yeah. Long-winded intro and stuff like that, but hope you're enjoying the stuff. Like I had mentioned earlier, we probably won't be doing this for. I fucking hate this thing. This is the thing that we had to kill for the egg, the growth egg, like a higher level version of this dickhead. But yeah, it is what it is.
Cheers.
Veil will make it so we don't get interrupted as much as well. Ow. Good thing we have the earth one. Did I not use that on lightning? Oh, I'm trolling.
Don't back down.
Okay. Just go fucking full commando and just kill this guy. We use auto battle a lot now, mainly because inputting all those attack inputs, like those basic attack inputs, does take quite a long time compared to
Thanks for coming.
using auto. And then obviously, if you don't use auto there, or if you use auto there, you have the benefit of basically having another quick input by using the right on the D-pad to be able to use your last movement of the blitzes, basically, or it could be high wind, or whatever move that you previously inputted. So that is the benefit of using auto battle. I still stand on you shouldn't use auto battle for the most part, because the whole point of the game is to to play the game, right? But whereas auto battle can input at basic, it's like that basic, especially when we're on Fang, right, and she's in commando. There's not much for her to do really, because she's not going to spam ruin, right? Because her basic attack, or her attack, is, I want to say 800 higher than her magic. So yeah. Let's head all the way to the thing. But yeah, as you saw, the differences too, for if you remember when we fought that guy, and like the fucking plant monster thing, it was obviously doing a lot more damage to us. And obviously, since he uses earth and stuff like that, most of these enemies from the guides that I was looking up and stuff like that, or even when it came to like, oh, what's the best equipment, for the most part, it was just like stuff for basically stuff for earth and just your basic resistances, because
Here you go.
mostly towards the end of the game they're using earth, or just base resistances of like physical damage or magic damage, so.
Don't back down.
What are you guys weak to? I think you're just weak to physical, no? Yeah. Yeah, we do so much damage. Like I said, I'm not too pressed that we're over leveled. I feel like, especially since it's the end of the game, it really doesn't matter. Also, I have looked into the final boss of the game. That is gonna be, I haven't watched like the whole fucking battle or stuff like that. I just know it's quite fucked. But hey, it is possible at in chapter 11, so if that gives us any hope or any like confidence, obviously, that we're super strong at this point, so we should be able to do it. It should be this one. I could be wrong though. Are you E3? Yes. I will say I am still a little bit hurt that they gaslit me and us being able to do the first two bottom missions, and once we got to E3, and obviously since we know from the guide that E1 and E2 are more fucked, also I have to keep up on the fucking the recording fucking up because frame drops and stuff like that, because we did have that problem in the last recording session and the one before it and stuff like that. To catch it, and then when it does happen, we'll did I restart my computer when that happened last? I think I did. But yeah, obviously in these fights you can utilize the Fortisol, Aegisol, and Deceptisol and stuff like that. We will probably be using that for some of the other bosses ahead, but for these I think we're fine. Skip. Okay, we're gonna do a little buffing.
You're asking for it.
Yeah, does a lot of damage, but obviously we're so much stronger at this point that
Keep it together.
eat those, heal up. What are you weak to normally? No, not techniques. Or no, it is techniques, sorry. Libra. I could have used the Libra scope, but like it's by yourself, so basically magic. Or no, we can go into debuffing. Are you immune? Not to imperil. So that makes you halved.
Don't get predictable.
Yeah. Spam ruin. They're gonna spam their magic. We have her built into Ravager, but it's not, you know, the greatest. Did I not? Oh, I think I used auto. So yeah, obviously with stuff like this, you'd want to swap into Sentinel, then to go back in. A very stark difference of what happened previously and now, obviously. Oh, you debuffed the fuck out of me. What the fuck? I did not consent. Kill him? Nope, not at all. I kind of threw that.
Time for a check.
That's fine.
It'll
It's
be
not the
okay.
worst.
Cheers.
We have the ability to troll
Don't want
since
to lose, do ya?
Keep it together.
we don't really have any consequences of us dying, so I think she just used haste on us at the same time. When we end up, because there is a mission that we end up having to fight both or two of these guys, we are gonna have to utilize Sentinel a lot because they still do a shit ton of damage. It's just obviously everything
Don't want
is
to lose, do ya?
not subjective, but like it's obviously compared to what they were doing before, it's a lot less. We're not gonna get a good score on this one. This is where you obviously want her on Ravager just to build up the gauge with everyone, but yeah. I wish we had more paradigm ones because there's so many like scenarios where I'm like, oh, I really like this combo or this setup, you know, but obviously, you know, you can't have everything. There's a balance with it, so. There we go. Oh, no, we still got 5 stars. See, it wasn't too long. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Nar Stone. Yes, teleports us back. And that is E3. A new trial now awaits. Yeah, mission 51 there, E7, which we get after doing E1 and E2. That one will give us the Genji glove. Okay, so we have to go to E2, so we'll go the same path we've been going, just to not be confused with the setup we've been using. Anything else? Oh yeah, I saw this last night, or well, for reference, it is 9:12 a.m. I've been awake since 1 a.m. Just debuff it. We don't have to. I mean, you can get our haste off and shit like that, but.
Change of plans.
I've been awake since 1, and apparently last night, some guys hacked Drake's and Kendrick Lamar's YouTube channels, and basically, yeah, they hacked their YouTube channels, and they were just posting. I would assume it's the same group, at least. You know, it could be like 2 different individuals that said that they were going to do so. But I saw that someone posted, or they posted the Not Like Us under Drake's YouTube channel. Then they also posted a, like, he said it was real in the description, but obviously it could, you know, just obviously fake. But it was just like a super goofy rap song sounding like Drake. I'm not saying it's his voice, it could have been AI or, you know, someone that just sounds like Drake, but it was very like just a very goofy song. So that was fun, waking up and listening to that. And I saw after I watched that video and I went back to the homepage of YouTube, I saw the other. I didn't watch it, but I saw the other video that got released on Kendrick's channel. But yeah, crazy stuff. I don't even know how that happens really, because you would assume. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm surprised that happens, because even Linus Tech Tips got fished, or well, they got fished. It's not him, you know, but like obviously they run a company and stuff like that. So obviously their shit could have got fished, where they sent, you know, I mean, from what I remember, what happened with Linus, with the Linus stuff, it was like an ad deal or something like that they originally thought, but it was like hidden malware within what looked like to be a PDF file. And basically it was a hidden executable or some shit like that, and then obviously, you know, got their information. I don't know if it was like a keylogger thing, or I don't remember too much, but obviously if they hit them, right, obviously the people or the social media managers running their YouTube channels and stuff like that obviously have less awareness when it comes to shit like that, so I don't blame them in the slightest. But yeah, it obviously, you know, all their stuff is going to go back to normal and stuff like that, so it doesn't really, it's a fun thing for the day, you know what I mean? Oh, I need a haircut. I always, when I edit, every time, like, because obviously, well, you don't know how my setup is, but obviously I've basically zoomed in on my face so I can see how I look, and stuff like that. And obviously I know that you guys can't see me this big, or like as big as I am, since I'm like zoomed in on it. But as someone that's like, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter really, because we're not trying to find our wife on here or stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's like, when I fix my hair or I do my hair or stuff like that, that's all for me, right? For the, not like for history in a sense of, like, you know, that I want to be presentable to myself, right? Hence, you know, why I look okay and I don't look like shit when it comes to recording these videos. And I've done more, and I say that as like I'm continuously doing it. I did more testing in the sense of like, if I think it's lotion that helps me fix like my itching problem. I do think it's both. I think it's the allergies and my skin being dry. But I do think that is the crux of the problem, though, is the lotion. And as I say that, I forgot to put lotion on my face after I took a shower, so hence why I'm scratching now. Again, I don't snort coke. I don't have money for that, and even if I did, I wouldn't. So take that what you may. I mean, you can make your own assumptions on what type of person I am, I guess. You know, it's a free country. D2. It's also like my hair, like little strands of hair being like just fucking with my eyes and shit like that, and it ends up just irritating me. Okay. What else? What else? Windows 10 support extended to October 2027. Obviously, they've been saying, hey, we're gonna not support Windows 10 anymore, right? We're going to Windows 11, and obviously that's a big security issue because they require you to have TPM and like motherboard stuff and stuff that, you know, for Windows 11, basically for their security features and stuff like that. And obviously, that is not supported on older computers that don't have that on the motherboard, obviously. So, they're in kind of a pickle. And obviously it's a big problem and a national security risk when it comes to Windows and Microsoft supporting it, because a lot of computers in the government or in government issued areas, right? Like, let's say you're a police station in whatever rural town, you know, in Nebraska or, you know, wherever, right? You might not have the funds to obviously swap over to new PCs or, you know, stuff like that. And also, it's a big, not issue, but like it's a big, like it's a time-consuming thing, you know, to wipe computers, and you have to wipe them good, right? Like, not just because you obviously you can retrieve information even though you deleted it, right? So you have to wipe them good.
Easy.
If you were getting rid of those hard drives and stuff like that. That's mostly for, I guess, laptops and stuff that you would, that the parts aren't easily, like, transferable. And the point is that it's a big thing that costs a lot of money to do, if you were to force everyone to go to Windows 11. Yeah, so, and obviously you would rather spend that money towards real problems instead of bumping everyone to Windows 11, giving them new computers. I mean, you would think. No, we do a lot of things that don't make too much sense in this country, so that's neither here nor there. And that's on both sides of the table. That's not just targeted towards one, but both. We're not gonna get into it, but let it be known that I don't like how shit is operated in a lot of the world. Or I have my opinions on a lot of things. As, I mean, if you've been watching long enough, you can kind of, get a sense of, like, I just want stuff to be done right, and I don't really care for people's agendas. That I think we have a lot of problems, and I think a lot of egos can get in the way, or get in the way, and I despise people like that on both sides. So, but it is the world we live in, unfortunately. Anyway, Mission 46 on Silent Wings. The soul's journey has no end. The truth it seeks lies ahead, deep within. Intrigued with the Zern Itra, who scours the skies in search of the answers and become one with life's circle here. Again, Class A. Again, it's very hopeful for you to put the Class A missions on the top, because obviously you would think, oh, well, let's do the missions that are earlier on the list, but no, the earlier missions on the list, maybe that's for a reason. Maybe because obviously without guides and stuff like that, you would see that you got mollywopped, and therefore would turn around and not continue. But obviously our ass knew that those two missions were the harder ones, and we still continue going forward. So yeah, let's see what we can get ourselves into. I'm assuming, obviously, since the missions 1 and 2 were going to be the harder ones, and 3 was not the hard one, so we'll play more safe here and just go for the win, no matter how pretty or how not pretty it is. Motherfucker. Wait, what happened to your haste? Oh fuck! You get rid of debuffs. It's terrible. Okay. So I think we're gonna just rock without debuffs. Oh, fuck. Or first, let's use Libra here. Okay. We can use a bunch of status ailments. He's weak to fire and wind. Go for get some debuffs in here. None of them are applying. It's fantastic. There we go. Can I get a slow? Oh no, wait, slow's blocked. My bad. Okay. Let's go for a heal.
We survived.
Can I get an Asuna?
Don't get predictable.
That is the one downside of us not. Oh, she's dead. Sick. That is the one downside of us not being on healer, is that we, as in Fang, don't have access to healings for our teammates. And obviously where that is a priority a lot of the times of using an Asuna before healing, right? You can get into a situation where obviously they're just stuck being sleeping or something like that, right? But yeah, from the jump we should have just went for the kill instead of I feel like we would have had an oh, she's dead. Wow. I feel like we would have had an easier time. I should also be using this shit. Can I not provoke? Oh, it does the same thing. Okay, my bad. I wonder if provoke will. Oh, Can you wake me up?
Don't get predictable.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm still sleeping, and they refuse to use. Just kill it, please. Like, like, obviously, I now, like, when we're in the attacking one, obviously they can't use Asuna. But, like, instead of healing me, I feel like you should use Asuna first, or use Asuna then heal, or Gilgamesh. Oh, I didn't even read that. Fuck. Point is, I feel like sometimes. And I'll say that's my biggest downside of us not being able to control ourselves as healer, because if I know, obviously, since normally we control lightning and hope and stuff like that, so obviously if I know the AI is going to just spam heal, then that means that I myself can be in charge of the Asunas and stuff like that. Now time to go to E1. So A1, B1, C1. Now, obviously, we have the TP, the technical point move, that allows us to use our TP to get rid of all buffs and debuffs from everyone. I don't even think that's just my party member. I think it's in the entire field, so we can dark hole the entire field, you could say. Shout out Yu-Gi-Oh!